Hello everyone, Ronan back. So as you can see, we've moved again, and we got a nice new background. I'm gonna be putting some posters up and things like that over time, but I'm still getting settled in. We're gonna be doing Ghost in the Shell today. We're gonna do episode 15. I think this episode's called PAT or Pat. I don't actually know what it's about at all. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we do have a Patreon in which we are 3 episodes ahead of YouTube, and we do also have a Discord server. The link is in the description below. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I'll do a little countdown here. It's weird because I'm also looking to the right now, so everything's kind of mirrored for me. I'm really not used to it. So we might be still tweaking the setup situation here.
Nothing on Earth can suppress their curiosity. If they encounter any inappropriate data, we'll just delete it.
You're too soft on them, sir. I can't believe you let...
What is that?
So what do you think about this?
It is interesting to have machines as curious as they are looking into the individual 11. That may not be good for them, you know?
Look at this! We checked out the 11 people who killed themselves. It appears they shared a lot in common, including the types of jobs they had.
I'm not sure though if their backgrounds like that really matter, because if anybody looks at the individual 11 virus or get exposed to it, then they get radicalized, right? So
Major said to bring one of you with us. Who wants to go?
Over here! I'm all done with my maintenance!
Huh?
You say that you're ready, huh? Okay, let's go.
Yes, sir!
It's his personal unit. Hey!
Hey, guys, wait up, will ya?
did you need your oil still?
I haven't given it any oil yet.
Maybe they no longer need oil.
Now listen, you'd better start behaving yourselves. Otherwise, we'll never finish up here.
So are the people doing maintenance on them, are they fully cybernetic? Are they like AI, to speak? Oh, Jesus.
This place without being bothered by anyone, right? Yeah, and the passage of time doesn't apply here either.
Oh no, I think this might be the episode I was thinking about a long time ago, but I was afraid to edit. We're doing deep dives on this one. Oh no.
I think they lack an identity. This is a group that tried so hard to find individuality that it lapsed into a state of non-individuality.
So in a sense, I get the feeling that this makes these people the opposite of us.
So they must find this to be kind of like ironic in a way, I guess. It's like 2 very different methods to pull off the same thing, I guess.
Who turned up entirely on their own, not because of a virus or whatever, remember? Some sociologists...
But I like their analyzation of that in general.
Okay, for the sake of argument, let's say that's true. Then it would mean that even before Goda got involved with his plans, those people shared a common vision that resembled this current situation.
Making the expulsion of refugees the consensus of the populace, huh?
They seem to still be missing a piece though from the whole individual 11 thing and about how it all works and where Goda's coming from with putting it all together.
In other words, they inferred that the element responsible for determining the actions of the individualists and the refugees exists either on the micro level and is smaller than each person, or is on the macro.
Gosh, that's hard to follow.
I agree.
So if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is that human bodies and minds are already 2 separate things, but for some reason people haven't...
I'm so lost.
But we were leaning toward the verdict that the body and mind are inseparable. This change of view is complete 180.
They try to break it down like 3 separate ways, and I like barely got like 1% of that, I feel like.
Coincidentally, I've been having experiences lately in which I feel as though my consciousness and body are separate. How do you mean? I can only describe it as having the sensation of looking down at myself from high in the sky.
Is each of our individual selves contained within our separate bodies, or is there only one self that we share among us as a collective Tachikoma?
You know, even as human beings, we can kind of listen to this and kind of relate to it in some way, you know, because it just, what they're talking about kind of makes me think of, like whenever we talk about like creative ether or something like that, where even though we don't really know each other, we can sometimes come up with the same ideas as each other. You know, if we're making something like artistically, we could end up either writing similar songs or drawing similar pictures, writing similar stories. even though we have nothing to do with each other, and still yet come up with something that can be fairly identical. And it's interesting. There's even been cases of plagiarism and things like that that have come about where, you know, it's hard to say whether it was a legit case of plagiarism or if it was just one of those things where, you know, two people came up with very, very similar things. It's just unfortunately one came up with something before the other, and then there's a whole lawsuit involved.
Is there any chance the results are wrong?
Probably not. We found dissolved fragments of protein in the pilot's blood that were consistent with...
That one was like, fuck this, we're gonna go have a powwow.
But the results for the pilot are a major find.
Does this mean that we've officially determined the pilot's cause of death as murder by micromachine?
Wow, we're talking about events from way earlier.
Tachikoma, can you see anything from where you are?
The hell? Oh, explosion.
That's weird. No one's running out of the building. What's up? Is the place empty?
The chief scientist here came in to do some work this afternoon, and there's a possibility that he's still inside.
Why didn't you tell us that in the first place?
Seems like could be unrelated, right?
Major, we're at the center of the blast. A guard said that a scientist by the name of Asuda was in the building, but we're still looking.
Tachikoma, pull up the data on the researcher.
This is probably the man they mean.
It's so crazy how quickly they're able to pull up information on somebody.
Well, the thing is, I'm positive I've seen this person somewhere before, but there are no matching records in my memory.
It's interesting that Tachikoma is thinking that they remember somebody, but it's a machine. You would think that they would just be able to just pull that up in their memory like instantly, but I wonder why they're having trouble.
He's probably headed for Nihama Airport.
Jeez, you don't have to shout. Check to see if you have any records that match him. I don't know how, but I'm certain that I have memories of meeting him before.
Maybe one of them met him and they just haven't synced that up or something?
This is so frustrating. I know it's there, but I can't remember it. I guess your synapses aren't connecting.
Synapses? Lay off those organic analogies, would you please?
You like this one memory is stuck somewhere in our cyber brains, but it's in a section that's partitioned off so we're unable to access it?
Yeah, it's really strange that they would have a memory problem.
Handedly developed the prototype model of the neurochip used in the Tachikomas AI.
What? He's the Tachikoma's dad?
Oh.
Do you suspect this Dr. Asuda had something to do with the explosion?
He probably committed the crime himself, to defect from the country and take the fruits of his labor with him.
Huh. Crazy.
Okay, if that's true, why do we carry a vague memory of the doctor?
Because he probably wanted to leave behind a record of his achievements somewhere. The doctor inserted a memory of himself into part of yours.
Oh, okay. So he artificially inserted himself in there?
I just put out an order to ground all flights leaving for North America. Thank you for your help in this, Madam Prime Minister.
There's no need to thank me.
Well, finally she came in handy, huh?
The departures of all passenger flights to North America have been delayed.
He has to know that they're stopping him from leaving.
Hey, Proto! I'm gonna open up this one's head, okay? Now hold still.
Stop, you little fool! You can't do that!
What? It's not there! This Tachikoma's AI is gone! Does that mean they're each and every...
They're in a satellite, right?
Dr. Asuda, I presume? Sir, you're in violation of the revised arms export law. You're coming with me.
I won't.
I don't think you get it. I'm Bato. I'm gonna beat your ass.
And here we brought this little one down to the lab for a visit. How disappointing.
I was wondering, are you my father?
Is that what you think?
We think you put memories of yourself into them without authorization. Will you tell us how to erase them?
You're even going to delete that trivial act of sentimentality?
I am. When you surrender something to the powers that be in exchange for that power, that's the price you pay.
The Major, heartless as ever.
Very well. Delete file C9 located in partition number 8 of the hub cyberbrain. It's the one I built into the satellite at your request.
Now I understand why we felt like our self was somewhere outside our bodies. It was because our AIs were synchronizing way out in space through that hub cyberbrain in orbit, weren't they?
That would get rid of the issue that they had in season 1. Whenever they got destroyed, then it wouldn't have mattered back then if their AI was in a satellite.
I don't think I want to have the memories of you erased, Dr. Asuda.
Don't you worry.
If the man's lucky, he'll be sentenced to prison.
And if he's not
Man,
so lucky?
That's a shame.
Maybe I'll bring the Tachikoma to visit him every once in a while.
I don't know if that would help, but now he's no longer free. Just like us.
It was kind of a dumb move on his part, you know, just thinking he can leave the country like that. That dress looks amazing on the Major, by the way. Just gonna say that. I don't think we can move on without mentioning that. Okay, that wasn't, as far as like the how much information that that episode was gonna have, that wasn't as bad as I remember. However, that whole little rant they went on, I don't know what they said straight up. I'm not, no pride here. It over my head. They tried to explain it 3 different ways. It felt like it got simpler as we went, and the very last one was like the closest I got to understanding anything. But of course, I think I was talking over it, so I didn't really quite hear it. Yeah, so I mean, overall, that was a nice little Tachikoma episode, and we dove into individual 11, but we kind of got, you know, sidetracked a little bit into finding out the origins of the Tachikomas. And I think season 2 is doing a really good job at putting more than one topic in each episode. It's usually either we're going into the main arc or we're not. There might be like a slight small mention of something that happened in the main arc during like a little side story, but this one they actually are diving into it, or they at least do a little bit more in regards to giving both pathways a little bit of attention. And yeah, season 2 is doing a great job at that. But yeah, so their AIs are in space, probably as a contingency against, you know, what happened before. Because I mean, if their AI gets destroyed, you know, then that particular Tachikoma is gone, I guess. And that just goes to show how much Section 9 values them, you know, as individuals, which is pretty cool. You know, before it's just kind of like, yeah, just take the hits and, you know, whatever, we're good. But I think even the Major even recognizes them as individuals and in a sense people. Maybe she kind of feels like she needs to for her own well-being, because if they are essentially developing ghosts, then they are kind of like essentially people too, which then she's not really too far off from what they are. So if she treats them any less, then, you know, maybe that speaks about, you know, her views on herself. It's an interesting thing. They never really touched up on that in this episode, but just, you know, food for thought, I guess. Great episode. That's it for me, guys, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.